Welcome to another episode of the Daily Dad Chronicles. I am Cook, and as with me usual is Joe, off to my right. Today we have a father of 9 and 7-year-old boys. He's director of coaching for East Greenbush Soccer Club, general manager of Afram Sports for over 20 plus years. He's coached D1, D2, D3 college soccer, and holds over 12 coaching certifications. Welcome, Jason. How are you today, sir?
Boys, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you dads.
Glad for you. Able to make it. I realize it was very, very quick, but I'm glad the schedules worked out.
What I always tell my parents is for the kids.
Absolutely
For the kids.
So you being involved in soccer, this is something that Joe and I 100% have zero experience with. So both of your boys,
none.
Both of your boys are involved in soccer, correct?
Yeah, they started at a young age. Again, by default, because that is my background, that is my history. T-ball, AAU basketball wasn't an option.
Yeah, right. Now, you and I have known each other for, got to be pushing 30 years.
Yeah, say 25 plus, yeah.
Right. Worked with your father, worked with your brother.
Yeah.
You were kind of always my go-to with, Verizon and
Yeah.
all of that stuff. So, I mean, we're going back a really long time. Before we went on, we were talking about your boys with soccer, obviously, and pretty much anything with a motor at this point for them. So, I mean, that's pretty cool that, you have a 7 and 9-year-old who absolutely love everything that dad loves.
Yeah, and it does make me smile when they get on the machine, put their helmet on, and said, "Let's go."
Right. So, me, I've always been a motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes, you have.
For a very long time. Rolled up to your house numerous times on any of my bikes. My wife can't stand it. My daughter, my 14-year-old, Dad, when are we going?
I remember one time you drove by with her on the back with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What scares me is that I'm sure at some point she's going to outride me.
Yes.
That bothers me a little bit.
You think?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm certain. Absolutely certain that she's going to outride me.
And you think the wife's going to allow that?
I think she's accepted the fact that that child runs the house, and if she wants to ride, she's going to ride.
That's going to be a Joe purchase.
You're buying her a first bike? Deal.
Just show. No. Not in the. Wait a minute. Not in that aspect, but the just buy it and show up with it.
For her?
Yeah.
Deal.
Yeah.
Ring the doorbell and run.
Right.
Go for the oil change that I've done a few times.
I found this on Facebook Marketplace.
So, I mean, back in my younger days, I was a sport bike guy. Loved being on sport bikes. Back then, before my back was absolutely shot,
You were a little thinner
I was
then, right?
comfortable, a little bit thinner,
All right.
a lot of bit maybe.
It's safe to say all of us.
Yeah, right. Didn't matter. I got out of work at 3:30, showered by 4:15, and I was riding all night. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, up at 6 to make it to work.
Do it all again.
And I would probably do it all again. I don't think my body would do it all again. Like tonight, tomorrow is going to be terrible. I am usually in bed by
I'm catching a flight at 4 in the morning.
Right. So
Yep.
we all have to be
Yep.
up at 4 a.m. But yeah, we're doing the entertainment thing tonight.
For the kids.
That's
For
all.
the kids.
Yep.
So with the kids, we were also talking about you're not a stay-at-home dad, but you are a at-home teacher.
Yeah, we my wife and I recently have started homeschooling our children, say around the holiday times as of December. So besides being active at Afram Sports, if you're not familiar with it, it is a very, very busy environment. We are packed from 8 in the morning till 2 in the morning at all 6 locations. I manage and run tournaments and events that are there. I also homeschool our kids right out of my office as well, teaching them everything that your children learn in your public or private schooling, and then some more uncurriculum, I guess you want to say, out of the box, education.
Sure.
I just told the guys we went over last week to 6 Mile River and released 2,100 rainbow trout. They know how to sheetrock. They know how to tile.
Well, knowing your family, like that
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, we can't sit still.
Right.
It's genetics. And then, running a decent sized soccer club across the river at East Greenbush. And then, being involved from day to day operations with the club. And, I report to a board, and I report to a lot of moms and dads that have high expectations of their children. And of course, the safety of their children and having what I consider is, good memories and building friendships.
Right. Yeah. I mean, 100%. I mean, when you're a coach, and you take the responsibility to coach someone else's kid, right?
Mhm.
Like, so for me with my kid, and maybe Joe will agree or disagree, but this is just for me. So, my daughter's in cheer. That's pretty much like what she's done. When she was younger, she was in girls lacrosse, and I was ecstatic. Like, I've loved lacrosse since high school.
I do remember you called me one time saying, "Can we get a field rental at Halframs?"
Right.
Yes, I do recall.
And,
Yep.
Like, so she
We were
was
sold out.
playing,
We were sold out.
She was playing girls lacrosse, and then she did that for 2 seasons, and all of a sudden, I got the puppy dog guys, and it was, Dad, I think I want to try cheer. And I said, well, that's really going to dig into lacrosse. She was like, yeah, I know, but I really want to do it. So being a dad, like, of course, I'm heartbroken. Didn't really care for the idea. I'm like, yeah, I don't really want a cheerleader. And I spoke about this on our first episode, but go to her first competition, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, she was 8 years old at her first competition in an arena. And I'm bawling. Absolutely bawling, like crocodile tears, to the point where I had to take my sunglasses off my head and put them over my eyes.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Right. I'm not crying. You're crying. So, like, at 8 years old, when, for the most part, 8-year-old girls, even 8-year-old boys, like, have like zero focus. Like, their focus is like 30 seconds, and then, oh my God, squirrel.
Squirrel. Yep. I say it all the time. Squirrel.
Yep.
Right. And, then they're, you probably see it on, the outdoor fields. Now they're picking grass, and they're throwing grass all over the place. But when these girls come together on a mat, and they all mesh, like, that's what overtook me at the first one. And even still, like, even now that she's in high school, so she's in middle school, going to high school in the fall, but she got invited to, or she's not invited, but she tried out for high school cheer. I still choke up. But I kind of like push my wife out of the way as soon as they're done. Like, I'm the first person that she hugs. Like, she comes off the mat. Like, you don't go see anybody else. I don't care if your boyfriend's there. I don't care if his mom's there. Like, I don't care if mom's here. Like, you're coming to me first.
So I always told my kids, like, your first girlfriend is your mom. That's your first love.
Right.
So it's vice versa. You have daughters, right? Or you have a daughter, and you're her first boyfriend. You're her first love.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. So, like, today, you're talking about tears, and my oldest told me, Dad, do you cry? And I was like, damn it. Yeah, I do.
Right.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. Like, we do.
I do. You don't see it.
Right. Right. But
100%
like,
on that.
I got to be I'm a proud dad, chest out.
right.
Oh, absolutely.
But I was like, I cry. You may not be with me, which is why I'm crying.
Sure. But, there's times.
Yeah.
And we're all, old enough, adult enough, man enough to admit it. And
Yeah.
if you don't want to admit it, that's your business. And
You're a different
that's-
kind of man.
That's totally fine. So we were talking about with the homeschooling was as to why, which I found really interesting. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't want my kids in public school. This was the safest option for my children.
Yeah, we were not allowed back into public schooling.
Right, because of an
Our vaccinations, yeah. Or we have, medical exemptions for the boys,
Sure.
but we're not being recognized any longer by the school district. So we're led to the option of homeschooling,
Right.
which, again, any man, any good father would say this is our responsibility, and we move on, and we swallow our pride, and we do our best for our children, right?
Sure.
We want the best outcome.
Always.
'Always.
100%.
And if you say something different, we have different, values.
Right.
But you really, it's a 2-minute drill.
Mm-hmm.
You learn it real quick.
Right.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, how was the learning curve? I mean, was it harder for you, or was it harder for the kids to kind of just kind of grasp, your.
Yeah, so it's a little different. So my wife and I have 2 different ways we do it. I still do homeschooling. What I consider I still do paper. We still learn.
Yep.
She does a little more modern, hands-on, like gardening, like doing math by measuring.
Okay.
How many ounces are in a pint? How many gallons? What we're making? So they're going to like a cooking class, or they're doing art or something. Or even like when I take them away, we do art museums. We stop and see the art museum, and I'm still teaching them because we're we're soccer family, and I'm like, the box is 6 yards. How many feet is that?
Gotcha. Right.
If the game is 45 minutes long, what's half of that? If you're playing 5-minute lines and there's 45 minutes, how many lines is there?
Right. Gotcha.
So it's how
It's very relatable.
you got to think outside the box. Like, what do they like? Sports. Yeah. Okay, how can I make this equivalent to what they want to learn and what they know?
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you teaching them, math skills, like you're also teaching them a number skill.
Yeah.
So they're eventually, like with me, like I am just a numbers weirdo. Like
Me too.
I have to
Numbers don't lie.
Right, they don't. And that's that's a great thing about numbers is that they don't. And no matter how hard you try, 2 + 2 is always going to equal 4. Right? Like
Yeah.
you can't.
There's no way around it.
There's zero way around that. So like with me, obviously like I deal with a lot of time and a lot of distance. So like if I have to figure out my timeline in blocks of distance, I now have to figure out what I have to maintain to accomplish a task.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if I have a mile worth of work to do
Mm-hmm.
and I have 2 hours to do it, like what now do I have to, like, where's my timeline for every 528 feet?
Yeah. And what speed do I need to work at?
Right. So yeah, my job for me, I'm just a numbers weirdo.
Yeah. So like even with the number stuff with homeschooling, Joe, you asked like, kind of blows your mind. Like we do a lot of Lego.
Okay.
That's part of our STEM stuff. Like they have to follow directions. They have to know in the correspondent and follow to get the correct product. If they don't follow the steps, you're not having what it looks like in the picture. And a lot of public schools now do Lego clubs.
Okay.
My nephew is in a Lego club. After school, it's like another club, which is pretty great. And we do it at home. Our kids in our basement have a 400 square foot Lego city. It's the size of this room.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Like people come and go, what is this?
That's great though.
It is great.
There's
And that-
so much taught in that, though.
So much.
So much.
Right.
A lot of engineering, a lot of building, and just the ability to read and follow the instructions, right?
The hands-on aspect for me is absolutely huge.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for me, for my son. Like, we are not classroom kids.
Nope.
Like, that hands-on stuff, you get so much more out of. Because, one, you can read all day long, right? But when you can read, have it in front of you, and then see the end result, there's so much more that comes out of that, I think.
You got to be able to implement it.
Sitting in a classroom all day just listening to somebody talk.
But
Like,
I
here you
mean,
go.
like at least with Legos, like it's not just following directions.
But
Like,
it's more. It's the
So there's-
measuring with the quarts, the gallons, the tape measure. Like that is
right. There's
like
hand eye.
huge.
Like you have to look at the piece on the directions and go, oh well, I'm holding.
A one that's 1x3, and I need a 3x2.
Correct.
Yeah.
So there's visual, there's hands on, there's following directions. It's not just as simple as following the directions. They have to it's teaching them to pay attention.
And even some of the other, not to go too crazy in Lego, some of the stuff that you other do, which is the Mario, it's all they have to log online to an app, and they have to follow the app as it goes. So they can't skip a page. It does now allow them to progress forward until they've checked and done every step in that Lego to move on to the next one.
Okay.
Which is good and bad. Good is they're learning something different. Bad is they're on electronics. I'm old school.
Yep.
You guys saw me today. Put those down. You make eye contact, and you be polite. So
with that being said, so let me explain what Jason was talking about. So I've only ever met Jay's kids through social media, even though I've known Jay for almost 30 years. Again, 7-year-old, 9-year-old came up to myself and Joe, reached their hands out, introduced themselves, and said, "Hi, what is your name?"
nice to meet you.
Right.
What
nice
is your
to
name?
meet you.
And they're make eye contact.
Right.
Blown
No,
away.
now-
I was blown away by that.
Right. So knowing your grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't say father because I know your father very well, but knowing your grandparents, especially your grandfather and your grandmother, they would be ridiculously proud.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculously. Knowing your dad,
It'd be expected.
it would be expected, but there'd probably be some other words that,
What is this shit?
right, like that Patsy would have taught him.
Yeah.
And I love your father. Like your dad and I had a terrible, terrible love-hate relationship for a very long time. But I would say, man, the last 4 or 5 years before he retired, when we worked together, we were family.
Yeah.
We really were. I can't even begin to tell you what I've learned from, your father, your Uncle John, your brother. So yeah, when I say we were close, we were close.
Yeah.
And we just happened to lose touch. You got married, I got married,
Life, right? Life.
Exactly. But
And then I run into you at Market 32.
right. So we run into each other at the grocery store, and I'm dealing with work stuff, and you saying you're calling me, I was tuned right out. But we started talking, and it was I seen you last week.
Never missed a beat.
Right. Never missed a beat.
So the kid thing, right? I always tell people parenting isn't easy. And if you think it's easy, it's because you're doing it wrong.
Right.
Nobody comes out of the womb an angel.
No.
Oh, God, no.
You know what I mean? You have to teach them what's right, and you have to teach them what's wrong. And if you don't lead by example, I stopped and corrected them and said, you make eye contact.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I said, guys, just be patient. I'm raising children.
Yeah.
We go to the grocery store. They barcode everything. They put it through. I don't do it. They do it.
Yeah.
It's easy to raise bad children. It is hard to raise good children.
Sure.
But if you're not patient, now keep in mind, listeners, I'm much older and I had kids at a much later time in my life.
Yeah.
I had my first child at 40. I didn't have him. My wife had her first child. I was 43 years old. Most people are, maybe becoming grandparents at this stage in their life, and I'm out there still raising them. So, you learn stuff in life. As you get older, you become wiser, a little more patient, financially, maybe a little more secure. And you always want to, you want to give your children maybe sometimes a life you haven't had or you wanted.
Right.
That's what my father always told me.
Yeah.
Always.
Give your children something you haven't had or something you wanted. And that's deep.
Oh, absolutely.
It is deep because you're like, okay, wow, jeez. You know, I joked with the both of you when you came in. And, you know, my two boys asked me, you know, I'm anti-YouTube. And they said, you know, they call my mother Mimi. You know, when did Mimi let you watch YouTube? And we all started laughing, right? Because we know I was like, you know, 31 years old before YouTube even came out. It wasn't even a thing.
Right.
And then my boys, you know, jokingly asked me, you know, when can I get a cell phone? And I said, you'll get one when I got one. And, you know, they said, you know, Mimi was so mean, Daddy. Can't believe you didn't get a cell phone until you were 23. I said, well, you know, my kids didn't know the cell phone didn't come out till like 92, you know.
Right.
They'll learn that part in a few years. So it's just how you handle
to
it.
think that, like,
We're old.
no, like he just said like 92, and that's like fairly accurate. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the industry.
Right. But what did we do? Like,
What did we do? I
What,
got on my
before
bike,
that?
Dave. I drove to your house. I found out you weren't home, and I drive back. And then I would
Right.
call you, and nobody were answering because we were kids. And where were we? We're outside.
right.
And then I was like, damn, I missed you. I'll try you tomorrow.
But even like directions, like these kids have like no idea. Like when we went out for a drive, like when we were 17, 18 years old.
We just
Or
get lost.
Let's just say 18.
We get
So
lost.
We could drive after 9, right? Like all of a sudden we
Crazy.
hit 18, we were like this shit, right?
Yeah.
So we could drive after 9. And I guess even at 16 when you got your license, it really didn't matter. You're just rolling the dice.
Mm-hmm.
But
Always.
Packing the Chevelle, let's go.
That's all we did was roll the dice.
right, but like
Because
I guess my point
we-
is like we never had maps in our car. Like when
When
we were
we-
a kid, right? Like we went out to get lost.
Well, that's just it. When you leave, you had no plan on where you were going.
We had a paper map if you're lucky in the glove compartment.
You just
Right,
rode.
that was folded 37 times too raw, like
You're like,
too
"Ah,
messed up, and you couldn't
throw it
even
out.
read it. Right,
Stop at the gas
and you
station.
knew you had to be home when your parents told you you had to be home, whether it was at dark or whatever it may be.
yeah. See, I didn't have that. Like,
And
as
if
long
if
as
you
my
weren't
dad
home, mom
like
would
knew
come
where I
looking.
was.
Mom would come looking. She'd start calling around because
She'd be calling the other moms.
everybody.
Where
knew
are they?
everybody.
Right.
Are they with you?
Yep.
Damn it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another thing that we were talking about was like on the street that I grew up on, like every single one of your neighbors was like your parent.
Oh,
Oh, absolutely.
times are different.
Way different.
Right.
Times, let's be totally upfront about that.
Oh, true. But I guess what I'm getting at is like our parents didn't have to worry about anything.
Our parents are drinking, you know, long necks, Budweisers together, you
Right.
know, and smoking a Marlboro on the driveway.
Right.
There
Or
was-
at the dining room table when they're all like running.
Yeah, it was like a community family. Everybody was together.
But
Right.
that's
The block.
That still exists today in a way. And the only reason I know it exists, and I told my kids this, I go, if you don't think anybody's watching you doing something stupid,
You're crazy.
somebody's watching.
Somebody's Ring camera's watching.
And we've gotten
Right.
phone calls from other parents. Hey, you know, James is doing a wheelie down Sand Creek Road.
How long was the wheelie? First question.
Right. Like how good was it?
Well, he's ripping them on this new thing.
Yeah, what is that?
So that's an e-bike.
That's an e-bike.
I'm assuming electronic, but that looks.
So it was governed, you know, he told us.
Was.
We got like a whole slideshow presentation on usually any big purchase he wants. We get a presentation.
PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Sits us down in the living room. Says,
Dad,
"Mom,
this is
Dad,
why I need
This is why.
Yeah.
I'm going to be this safe, yada, yada, yada. Now, as a dad, I'm
Nice.
like, yeah, bro, let's get that, rip it.
Yeah, when you're not home, I'm taking it.
Mom's having a heart attack during the presentation. But yeah, he gets caught on this thing. It came out of the box. I think it was governed at like 25 or 30. First thing he did, ripped it open, got on, you know, YouTube, snipped the governor out. Now it does like 50. So,
I'm not mad at him.
no, neither am I.
I'm just, where's the key?
Right?
You know?
It's got a fob. It's really advanced. But yeah, I was like, dude, you didn't like. I told you this. I'm like, everything you've done, I've already been there, done it. got
I did
in
it better than
trouble.
you, buddy. Listen.
Yeah,
Right.
got burned, like the whole 9. I'm like, so when I explain things to you, I'm just trying to cover your ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Because your mom's going to yell at me, and then I have to yell at you.
it's
Right.
different today. Like they don't, like the cops just won't be like, hey, here's your kid. You know, nowadays it's like, here's your kid in the back of the car.
And you got to pay for a tow to get that.
Yeah.
But with that
And
thing,
come get it
like,
for the yard.
that thing, they think they're slick. Like our toys were 2-stroke or like big bore 4-stroke, like we couldn't hide.
I had a big red. Like we had, you know what I mean?
There's no hiding.
Right. Like they just hit it and it's just like
I was like, we're going to the pig farm.
And
Right.
You know,
where I rolled your snowmobile.
Yeah.
I'm like, one, respect.
So did
it.
my father. If you can
Like,
hear that,
I
Dad.
didn't have anything close to this growing up.
No.
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 No. That looks cool.
We never had like anything motorized. So
That looks new. All that stuff was used.
oh, he's already wrecked it a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got chased out.
It was, but I guess it didn't really matter because we were still out having fun.
correct.
Responsible fun.
Yep.
Yeah, like we weren't like destroying anybody's crap.
Property. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because again, we had 8,000 parents, depending on where we lived.
Correct.
Like where I grew up, I couldn't go 4 streets away without eyes. Couldn't. There's no way.
Because when you fell off your bike, somebody had to carry you home.
Or you just limped your ass home.
Yeah.
No,
Done that
because my
so
father,
many times.
my father was like, I don't want to really call him a social butterfly, but like, he, you know, someone would say something and he would just like start talking to him. So then all of a sudden they were, you know, having beers and, you know, coming over and having bonfires or whatever.
Mm.
I'm like, how'd you meet this guy? I don't know. I was over on the street. For what? I don't even know. Oh, okay.
Do we owe him a 6-pack?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Do we owe him a banquet beer?
did I do something that I shouldn't have?
Yeah.
He goes, well, don't now because now they're going to be watching. Like that was like, we kind of had it easy
Mm.
at the same time. Like we couldn't get away with anything, but we learned how to get away with everything.
Carefully.
Right. Well, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Until it turned into an ER run and then
Yeah.
you had a cast.
Or the cops knock on your door.
Yeah, because it was your dad's friend that he went to high school with.
Right.
What's your last name again? Damn it.
Oh, you're a what? Oh. Oh, the house with the big rock. Yeah, great.
Yeah, it's great.
So, like,
The big rock.
right.
Yeah.
But even in our town, like our town is huge. Like in the grand scheme of things. Like, but everyone knows everybody.
Oh, compared to where I grew up? Yeah, you guys are massive. I grew up in like Delmar, Bethlehem. So like nowadays it's so commercialized, but back then it's like, you know, everybody knew everybody, but not like they do here.
Well, so like Jay grew up. Where did you grow up again?
Well, Laurendale,
All right.
Sand Creek.
Right. But then your aunt and uncle were over off a Locust.
Oh, Focus. Yeah, yeah. Kimberly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you had, you know, that little bit.
Yeah.
And then who else? And which
I mean, we really went.
your first house you bought not too far from there.
Yeah. It was crazy enough. I bought, I looked at the house, fell in love with it. I was like, oh, I showed my mom. My mom's like, this house? I was like, yeah. She goes, this is your great grandmother's house that your grandfather built. And I was like, did you know that?
Locust?
No, the one was on Yeah, 15. Yeah. No, Mordella.
Well, Mordella. Yes.
It was on
I'm
Mordella.
sorry.
That was my great grandmother's house I bought. I had no clue.
No way.
No clue.
That's
You
the
had no
first I
idea?
heard that.
No idea until I brought my mother. And they're like, this is your great grandmother's house. I was like,
Sold.
sold.
That's insane.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. So Bumpy's right up here.
Yeah.
Like the old green building that's still green.
Yeah.
So
Not broken, don't fix it.
if you go 500 feet to the east, growing up, farm.
Yeah.
Like when we were growing up.
Yeah.
But that was all related to me.
Well, think about my grandparents' land there.
Right.
Senior living now was never that.
No. Nope. That was like,
Land.
right. Like where we go and have fun kind of land.
Mm-hmm.
And even the water tower up off of Lye, like where we had all our parties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all gone.
It's all gone. Even behind Drake's.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What's that connecting to the bowling alley back there?
It's crazy, dude.
Redwood? Redwood.
Oh, yeah. Nicholas Hialeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane.
Good times. Good times.
Just showing your age.
Yeah. Yeah. We're I mean, Jay's got me by a couple years, but
Whatever.
yeah, we're up there.
We're not here to brag.
Um, yeah,
Don't act like you're not impressed.
my ex-wife grew up with your cousin,
Mm-hmm.
who I also went to school with.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, everyone that it was always at Ramondo Fest,
Good times.
like,
Wait a minute, Ramondo Fest.
Joe,
Was there
you
a
don't
party
even
we
know.
did?
oh my God. So, man, I don't even know if I should tell this story, but screw it. It is what it is.
Good times, Joe.
So, one of the last parties that I went to at Jay's house.
The whole neighborhood, by the way, was invited because across the street was the mayor.
Right, the mayor. So
Friends in high places.
Jay's like cooking away. So he had like grill and then a keg and then another grill.
And ice luges.
Right, ice luges. Like it was just
Band,
like,
DJ.
so I go up to him. I'm like, Jay, listen, I'm not really doing anything. Why don't you just let me cook for you? He's like, oh man, that'd be great.
We had a grill for steamers, a grill for the chicken,
Right.
a grill for burgers, a grill for sausage.
Like I'm just like destroying the grilling, dude. Like
I
just,
love
I'm
hearing
killing it.
stories.
It's not even like which party you think of it as. It's like 10 times it.
Right.
There was handout
This-
when you walked into the party, gifts.
Like just hearing this brings back memories from like when I was a kid because this is how my grandfather was every.
You could pre-order my themed T-shirts.
Right.
Like his cookouts, his parties,
Kind of need to
Were-
do this again.
they were parties.
Yeah, they want me to do like Ramondo 2X, 101 or something like a reversion.
2.0.
Of it. Yeah, 2. Thank you, 2.0.
All right.
Yeah.
Block party.
So I'm like, Jay, just let me cook. I got this. I'll take care of you. You know, go do your thing with your guests. And he's like, oh man, that'd be great. Thank you.
How long did you stay there for, Dave? Cook
Oh,
All-
4
all
or 5 in
day.
the morning. Yeah.
All day.
You don't even know.
So hold on.
for volunteering.
It gets way worse.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going from grill to keg to grill, back to the keg, back to the grill, like all day.
Yo-yo.
I wasn't really a big ice luge kind of guy, so I'm just standing at the keg,
Oh, I was.
like just manning all over the grill, like sweating, just drinking, just stupid, right?
Keep in mind, we'd have 60 to 80 people in the
Right.
backyard at a time. Outhouses.
wild.
So I'm just hammering the grill, right? So whenever it was that I left, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up in the morning. Now, mind you, I am mid-divorce. Mid-divorce. And I left. No one knew where I went. I didn't even know where I went. I woke up to my oldest daughter smacking me in the head going, Dada. And I looked and I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
I end
yeah.
up, did I end up at
Wrong house?
my ex-wife's house?
Perfect. Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
So,
Blame Jason.
I'm like, I gotta go. So I throw my shoes on and it's half a mile walk. Like,
Yeah, you're not far.
right, not far.
Back to my house.
I walk in the house and I'm like, you rotten. Where'd you go?
Irish exit.
Right.
I'm taking a sausage and a
bro.
beer and I'm out.
Good Lord.
Oh my God. So yeah, that was my last experience at.
Talk about giving some ammo.
Oh, dude. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I can't believe I've never told you that story.
No, never heard that one.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, it was good times, but man, I don't. I'll be honest. I'm not even sure how I made it there.
I have an idea.
I mean, I know I walked, but I don't know how. Like,
You didn't want to stay for breakfast?
no, like,
No?
I'm pretty sure.
Dave had a midnight snack.
No, nope, negative.
Or as I call it, late night menu.
Did the ex even know you were there?
Yeah, because apparently I knocked on the door
Oh, she let you in.
at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, not only did I have to hear, nope, don't worry about it, and I said okay.
She just let you in on pity.
No. I had the walk of shame because my ex-in-laws were awake. when I walked out.
I thought you were going to be like, I walked in naked or something.
No.
Well, that would be a good one.
I'll be honest, dude. I guess now, like thinking back on it, like Firehouse was so close to your house. I probably thought I was walking there
It's not that. It's
to like sleep it off in the recliner or something.
Walk past Krause's and there.
Exactly. I don't even know how we took this circle.
Anyways, yeah.
Right.
But these are the stories that kind of put us where we are today.
That is true.
Like, it was harmless fun.
It was. It was like
You know
when
what I
I
mean?
threw these events, I did them 7 or 8 years. There was a different
Yeah.
theme, a different shirt. I invited the whole neighborhood. They knew.
Mm-hmm.
I told the cops because a bunch of our friends were all cops. Hey,
Yep.
it's what's gonna happen. Cops would come over, make sure it was good, grab a sausage, grab some chicken, hang out, meet some friends, and move on and patrol. We never had no fights. We had nothing. Music. I agree with the neighbors. When would music be shut off? Because I would have live music come in.
Absolutely.
I'd have a DJ, acoustics, whatever.
Right. Like lights, like the whole
9 yards.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So, like, that's how this house was. So, like, when her grandfather owned this house, they would throw parties in the basement. And my father-in-law's told me, like, stories. Like, they've had live bands in that basement.
Really?
Yes. Which is wild. But, same thing. Like, when we got this house, I think I was, like, 22, 23. Her grandfather needed some help, assisted living, yada, yada, yada. The state made him liquefy all of his assets, which is awful.
Thank you, New York State.
Right.
And her father, we were dating for a while at that point. And he came to us. He's like, hey, would you guys be interested in buying the house? I don't know. I'm 23 years old with really shitty credit. Like, sure.
Sounds like a great decision.
We didn't know what we were getting into, right? And we went for it. 6 months later, found out we're going to have a baby. Like, life is happening fast. Like, really, really fast. But here I am. Now my parents live in my basement.
Show them.
Yep. Well, it's crazy because we had the whole basement we never used. And my mother retired, like, I don't know, 6 years ago. My father retired pretty recently. But anyways, they were like, hey, we're looking to downsize, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, just take over the basement. Do whatever you want. I won't even charge you rent. And they thought I was joking, but my mother called me like a few weeks later. She's like, were you serious? I'm like, yeah, 100%. Like, I'm not going to let you go. Like,
You took care of me. Now I take care of
we're
you.
looking like
Yeah, right.
over 55s, all that kind of stuff. But the fees were ridiculous. I'm like, just redo the basement. Do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Like, I'm not.
Free reign.
Yeah. And they did exactly that. And they've been here, I think, like 5 or 6 years now. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's awesome. Parents are always downstairs. The kids get to see their grandparents every day.
Yeah.
Right.
And then their other grandparents live on the other side of town, so it's great.
Yeah, convenient.
Yeah, but yeah. And my parents are still younger, but yeah, I mean, they took care of me for all them years. Like, hey,
Yeah, someone's got to take care of them.
you sure
Let it be me, right?
no
Sure.
rent, no nothing. Like,
Well, I mean,
I
look
would
at
never even ask.
You and your grandparents.
Yeah. I just talked to my grandmother today. 96.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You should see her on her iPad, Facebook messaging us.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for her, man. That's
Yeah.
great.
Well, yes and no, but yeah.
Right. Well,
I can
mean,
say yes and no, because my parents still come upstairs and be like, hey, fix this. I'm like, well, what'd you do? I don't know. Okay, cool.
I'll figure it out.
And then I don't know. I'm like, hey,
Factory reset.
I go to my son and like, hey, can you help your grandmother? I'm like, because I don't even know. Like, I don't know how to use half this shit. Yep. But yeah, like, same thing. Like, even with your kids, man, that respect thing is like absolutely like top tier for me. Like, same thing. Like, your family's heavily Italian, right?
Yeah.
Same with mine. Like, you weren't like
No, not
spoken
at all.
to unless
not
yeah.
not Italian at all.
not at all.
No.
Not even a
Not
little.
even a little bit.
Nope.
Yeah, it's a different era, but our kids would, you can only talk when you're talking to.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even my kids now today, like in adult conversations, they don't exist. unless they're called upon to join the conversation or they have a question. Like my kids won't really.
I mean, this is great. It leads into I had a session before I came here, practice, and I had a kid not want to participate, which is fine. I'm dealing with third graders.
Sure.
So I get down to the child's level. Is everything okay? I'm just not feeling good. Okay. So, you keep diving in. What's wrong? Well, I got my tummy ache. Okay. So why don't you just go home and relax? And, tomorrow's another day. Well, I want to watch. I don't want to miss anything. And I said, okay, well, you're watching. This is some stuff you could do at home. So, of course, at this time, I always want to have mom or dad involved in the conversation so they know, so the conversation or the message isn't skewed. So the mom comes over and she's like, he's not feeling good. We think it was maybe, too much Easter candy. This child is not out of his realm. So, I always tell the kids when you're ready, 2 thumbs up and then I know we'll get you back into the lesson. But they still wanted to be there, right? It's a social aspect.
Sure.
My friends are here. I want to be here. At some value. They may not be on the field, but they want to be around their boys. So, I said to the mom, "What did they eat? Is there something else that I should know about?" Right? Because as a coach, I consider myself the fun uncle. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who do they come run to when they get out of the car? Me. When they get off the field, who do they high five?
Yep.
Me. When we do have to leave the game, 1, 2, 3 team, whatever, it's me. So the kid started disrespecting the mom. And I said, "Excuse me, mom." I said, "Come here." To the chair, got down on my knee. We did not talk to mom like that. If you talk to mom like that, I'm going to ask you to leave. And the mom looked at me and she said, "Wow." I said, "I'm here to support you. Not just as a child's coach, but more as a mentor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got to do it. Someone.
So
Let my name be someone. I want to be that someone to help somebody."
right.
Like we all have shitty days, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know what happened to you that made you that way or me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I always tell people, "Man, you're never mean to anybody." So I kill them with kindness. That's another deep thing. Kill them with kindness. Like, is there anything you need? Everything all right? How easy is that conversation? Right? Dave, you're looking at me like, wow, right?
Yeah, no, like I 100%
Kill them with kindness. Like, you're never mean. No, I'm not. Why? It's easy to be mean. It's hard to be nice.
So you basically do with your kids that you coach the same thing that I do with my daughter's friends.
You have to.
So, like when you come to my house, good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent.
What's for dinner?
No,
Steak.
I can't even tell you how many parents that I've said, if they're at my house, they're my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
My wife is responsible.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm responsible for you, then I'm treating you as mine.
You're following my rules.
Yep.
Right. Like my rules aren't crazy either. Like, listen, bust my balls because there's a really good chance I'm going to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're gonna have fun,
Mm-hmm.
but pick up after yourself. Like it's simple. Like you want to have snacks, cool, have snacks. I don't care. Look, there's a whole shelf right there. Help yourself. This is your house, but pick up after yourself.
So even with the snack thing, so I was telling you guys about allergies. So my kids, I have to ask. Now they know if they don't see the packaging, it's something new. They don't even. It's not even on the board to ask.
Yep.
Right.
So, but again, it's training, educating. And empathy's got to go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
How do we ask?
right.
You heard me say, no, that's not what we do. Try it again. It's easy to say, you're an idiot. What are you doing? No, that's wrong. Try it. How would we do this in a different way? You have to understand that we're dealing with young men that we want to make good dads, good grandparents, right? You have to start. If you don't start, you're never going to complete anything.
So when I was involved in the fire service,
How long did you do that for?
17 years.
Yeah.
I was in that department.
You used to come by with the truck all the time. I loved it.
Yeah.
It's great.
And even some of the new guys that I have at my current job.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not my saying, but I did steal it, and I will full on admit that I stole it.
Put it on me.
As a fireman, what is the one thing that an old fireman can teach a new fireman?
Wisdom?
How to become an old fireman.
Yeah.
So that's literally what you're doing with your kids.
Yeah. You have to.
Yeah. And I've used that, I've used that line for years. But it's true. So I guess what I'm getting at, and let's just use a safety aspect. If I show you all the terrible ways to do something,
You're going to do this because you're showing me, you're training me how to do it.
right.
Out of nature.
But if I show you the right way to do something, that's not going to cause you to lose a digit, an eye, get burned, take any kind of debris.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just any job. It's not just being a fireman.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to grow up unscathed, potentially, unless you develop your own bad habits. But again, for the most part, bad habits are taught, which is what you're alleviating on the field.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. I mean, so one of my responsibilities as the director of the club is, you know, when I interviewed for the job, my first thing was safety.
Yeah.
Before anybody steps on this field that's going to wear the club badge, I'm requiring you do a background check.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. I don't care where you came from. Safety.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be in the news. And I'm here to protect every single child. If it's on my time and it's on my dime, it's my problem. And you have to live with that. Again, I think we reverted back to the neighborhood. It's a different time. It is a different time, right? We see it in the news all the time. We just, you know, it's like, I fear for that.
I do, and I understand, but at the same time, like, your kids are different. Like, they have, you know, like life-threatening allergies. Right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times where you can't teach certain things. Like, it has to be learned by experience.
Yeah, like I told you, they sheetrock. They know the studs
Precisely.
are 69 center.
Right.
They know sheetrock comes in 4-foot sheets because of a reason. Again, it goes back to the math. So we're teaching, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Those life skills.
Right.
Which we lack a lot of. Like, especially with my line of work, it's pretty sad. I don't even want to say kids, but they're still kids to me because they're 18 years old.
Young adults.
18, 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I call them kids. But a lot of them just show up and, like, no motivation, no will to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my line of work is not something you need to take lightly. Like, this is, like, life-ending type of work.
Electrician.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to teach you the right way to do it so that at the end of the day, we all go home the same
Your
way
family.
we walked in.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Line I
the goal
use
every
couple
day.
of times a week.
And some kids don't take it seriously. And probably, I want to say it's been 10 years now, we had an apprentice on the job who wanted to do his own thing, didn't really listen to us, got impatient, and it put him in the ground at 23 years old. Dead.
Mm.
And it happened on the job. He was up in the air. Nobody could do anything to help him. They had to wait for the circuit to be
Shut off.
turned off.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
That's
And to me, like, I was still an apprentice at the time too. I think it was almost out of my time. But it's like, you know, I go to, like, my journey, and it's like, what could we have done differently, you know, to keep this kid where he needed to be? Like,
don't put him in the bucket.
right? Like, he's like, honestly, it's like, and everybody kind of said the same thing. Like, he just didn't want to listen for whatever reason. Either he didn't think we knew what we were talking about, or, you know, he had his own mindset on what he thought, you know, was the right thing to do. And then, you know, 6-8 months later, I hear, you know, he
Sad.
passed, which is sad.
Yeah.
Which is sad. And even now, it's like, I'm pretty hard on the apprentices that I have, but it's all in good reason.
Mm.
You know, like I'll crack jokes about something they did or whatever, and you know, I tell them like, listen, I don't. It's not like I'm intentionally being hard, but I just want you to do the right thing every time.
Yeah. Mentor.
You know? Yeah.
So speaking of mentoring, when it comes to soccer
Mm-hmm.
with your kids,
Mm-hmm.
how are they with both wins and losses?
I like that question. So, at what I'll consider pre-puberty, I wrote a thing for the club, and it's development versus winning.
Okay.
If you can't trap a ball, kick a ball, pass a ball, dribble a ball, you're never going to win. So if you're looking as a mom or dad to come in and you're looking for a result or a medal or a big trophy, this is not for you. Now, post-puberty, 13, 14, then we are goal-oriented in results. We're result-driven because we've been developed. So if you learn the proper skills, winning will be a result of that. Because being strong and fast, right, for fourth grade, fifth grade is different, right? Now we hit puberty and the levels comes out, right?
Yep.
Let's think about Messi's 5'6".
He's a stud.
Not too bad for himself, right? So it's not always size, but it's like learning the skill first, perfecting your craft. If you do that, then results will become. So with my kids, they don't care if we win or lose, and especially my youngest, 7, it's no score.
I love that you said that.
It's no score, right? It's part of U.S. Soccer's agenda. Right. They just want people involved in the game.
Sure.
Love of the sport. But if you ask my son, Dad, I had 3 goals and 7 assists today. And I always say to the kids, they're like, you know, we just played a tournament last weekend. Now we're in a tournament. We're playing a team from Utica, Bennington, Boston, and a local premier club. They only know one club because they're from out of town. What was the score? Because we killed them, coach. We're 6-2. Hey, yeah, that's fine. That's what it was. Yeah. Now they know. Now during the games, I don't keep the score. I tell them we're here, and I tell the kids, and I tell the club that you work under me. There's 3 F's in the sport. Okay, there's the foundation. Because I tell people, if you have a huge house, you have 30 architectural shingles, you have Pella windows, you have stainless steel appliance, granite countertops, but you have a crack in your foundation. Is that house any good? I forgot about your stainless steel appliances. How big is this crack?
Right. Like, is the wall coming?
Is the wall coming down? Is this 4,200 square foot house that's going to collapse any day? So you gotta have the foundation. It's got to be secure, right? And then the second F is fundamentals, just the basics. Today, for an hour and 15 minutes, basics. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Grounding and hitting, you're just throwing it first, grounding, just a layup, just the outside rebound shots. Whatever sport you want to, compare it to, it's the same thing. We just do it over and over and over and over. And I teach the kids 3, 4 moves, maybe 5 soccer moves. That is it. But can they do them really good? Yup. That is their arsenal. So those fundamentals, that's it. The simple parts of the game. The last one is the most important. Most important. It's fun.
Right. Well,
if you're not having fun, do you want to get off the bus and go have practice with Coach Jason?
Right.
If you can't kick a ball to save your life, do you want to? Is that fun? No. But we as a coach or a mentor, we have to make it fun. I've got to get down to that child's level. I make it. When I substitute a child off, they have to give me a high five. But when I greet them, I'm down on my knees. I'm at their level. And I'm high-fiving them. And it could be just one thing. Dude, I love that. That move you did, that was awesome. Positive reinforcement for these young kids is like, I'm a cheerleader. That's what I am. I'm a cheerleader. I'm not a coach.
They don't even care why they subbed out.
They don't
even care anymore.
They're like, oh, do we have orange slices? do you have that Gatorade jug, coach? You're like,
yep.
They don't even care about the game. They're just there. It's fun.
Right.
And if you don't make it fun, again, I don't care what sport, I don't care what it is, they're not really interested.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it's way more difficult for our girls to do that.
Well, yeah. So think about it. You guys were telling me earlier your window's 2 minutes and 30 seconds, right? For
So like
a cheer?
Like in All Stars, like Joe was saying, you may compete 2, potentially 3 times throughout a weekend. But if you're at a 1-day competition, right? And then, like I said, we've had as many as 11. 11 would be a lot for.
What's that, teams
Yeah.
that you go against?
Well, even for like high school, but even Pop Warner, like 11 would be a lot. So I would say in the realm anywhere between 7 and 10 teams potentially up.
Yeah, it's fair.
All Stars could be totally different. My daughter, she respects All Stars, but it's not something that she wants to be involved in. She likes school. She loves, being with Pop Warner and, what Pop Warner has always stood for. And, but yes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. That's what they have to prove that they
shine.
have it, right? And if they fault in the first 30 seconds of the routine, you're really going to see what the team is made of for the next 2 minutes.
Can they recover?
Right.
Can
And
they
that
continue?
the biggest thing is the mind thing. Like they can go through all their stunts 100 times, weeks prior. But I mean, when they're throwing girls around,
Basket toss.
right? Yeah,
I don't know why I know that.
it's that fraction of a slip up, which potentially causes catastrophe.
Not so much catastrophe, but just having that deduction,
Right.
like takes you way out.
Oh,
Like
right.
some of these, like for my daughters, like some of these scores that they're either winning or losing against are by like hundredths of a point. Like you might be like 96.04 and the next team's like 96.45.
Have a good night.
Yeah, it's like super
Right.
close. And it's wild. Like
Mathematically, it's super close. But again,
they judge on so much criteria between. And
if
I'm
all
probably
7
gonna
teams hit a
make it-
94,
You would think I would know like what the hell they judge on by now because
yeah,
I've been in it for
I
so
really
long, but I
don't either.
don't. But you have your stunting, your tumbling, your pyramid, your difficulty, your dance. Like there's so many.
music, crowd interaction,
Yeah.
like there's so much involved.
Like and with All Stars, like, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for Pop Warner too in high school. Like we travel with I think we're at 6 teams that go. Like we are there for just about every team's performance.
Ugh.
Just to be involved, to show that like we come as one.
Okay.
Like we're pretty tight knit. Every place has their problems, but for the most part, like even if my daughter's not on till like say 5 or 6 o'clock at night, but the first team's on at 9, we're there all day.
Like my daughter.
Are you guys? And this is like the same team?
Same gym,
Oh, so
just
like
different level teams.
So if we were at an event, a tournament, right?
Right.
We would have whatever my U9s would go watch the U10s play.
It's
Now
painful.
I'm not watching the other teams in my bracket unless they're before us or after us. We're not going out of our way to go watch them unless it's when again post puberty. Then it's like if they win, this is the results. Hey, we got to watch this player. Let's scout him. But that you can't really you're in the basket, you're in the pyramid, you fall. It's like you can't
Yeah.
fix it.
Yeah, there's no coming
There's
back.
no coming back.
Yep. Nope.
But I will say, like with the girls, and I love both my daughter. Well, all 3 of my daughters and my granddaughter. Girls are so funny, man, because they can be ridiculously catty,
I'm so bad
And-
boys.
and at the same time, she's got friends from other school districts that they all like. You'll always see like Shay's got friends in Shalmont. She's got friends in Shen. She's got friends in Ravenna. And she goes down and sits and cheers with the other, the other teams for her friends. So the respect that they give each other.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that it's probably the best that I've ever seen out of kids.
So
but
that, Dave, I can relate to that because we live in Niskuna.
Right.
I coach East Greenbush.
Correct.
So when I went to the club, my boys don't know anybody.
Yeah.
But now they have their Niskuna soccer friends, right? Because I was in the club and we went to the school district. We still see the kids. And now they have their East Greenbush friends. Now, locally, there's a huge training called Beast Era. And they have the niche in the market. I mean, last year they were the #1 Nike soccer camp in the United States, right here in Albany.
That's wild.
This year they were the #4 Nike camp in the United States, in Albany. Better than LA, Chicago, Dallas, Virginia, Boston, Miami, right here in Smallbany. Okay,
Right here in pimple in the ass.
it's crazy.
That's not.
And these guys are geniuses, right? Great. It's like kudos to these guys. Great people, great friends. And my kids go to these camps.
Yep.
And they meet more friends there. So when we're playing at Aframs or in the leagues, oh, there's my friend Alex from Beast Era. Alex went to my kid's birthday party. He's a Clifton Park kid. He comes to the. It's great because it's the same thing when at the end of the day, are they building community, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is their core friendship more than just their neighborhood, right? We joked about neighborhood earlier, but how big can it be? And then I always tell people, how many friends do they have?
Yeah.
And then as we get older, right? So this is another deep one. As we get older, how long will your line be at your funeral services?
That's wild.
Yeah.
I told you it's going to be deep,
That's
right?
wild.
You're like, I've been to something like, I went an hour. And they're like, an hour? And I was like, yeah. You ever go into a restaurant, walked right in? Or you like take this pager, go to the bar, it's been about 45 minutes. And you're like, oh, we're getting a good meal.
That's wild. I never thought about that.
I have a lot of time.
I've
to
never
talk,
even
right?
never even crossed my mind I mean, as I've gotten older, death is,
Yeah, it's more upon us.
it's more upon us.
Yeah.
But I've never thought hey, who's coming?
Yeah. How long is the line going to be at my go away party?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to call it. Going away party, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hope people show up, at least for my family.
Now, you only know that, right, if you've done the right thing in life. Did you leave some sort of, oh, yeah, you guys can't see me, but I'm smirking like, that guy was a good time. Yeah, I got to go see this guy. Oh, that was my friend's friend. I remember him. I'll give him my respects. So, kill him with kindness.
That's wild.
I actually had a conversation like this today with one of my bosses who's 2 levels above me today. Just going through some crap at work, and we needed to have a talk. And it happened, and I said, listen, I need you to understand something. I may have not always done the right things by you. That may be my mistake. But rest assured, I've never lied to you. And he goes, well, I appreciate that. And I said, no, I don't think you understand. I said, if I bold-faced lie to you, how long is it going to take for me to gain your trust back? Probably never. I said, exactly, because there's always going to be that
Question.
in the back of your head. Now, you know me from my past. My past is very tarnished. And I'm okay to admit it. I did it. There's no reason to deny it, right? But one thing I've learned from it is, dude, just own it. Just own it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And that's really my biggest life lesson to my kids.
Own it, fix it.
Right. And even if you can't fix it, just
don't do it again.
Just own it. My daughter refuses to lie. Refuses. Like she tries like really, really hard. Just even joking around, she can't.
No, eventually she's going to have to.
No, I don't think so.
You think she's going to tell him about the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus?
Oh yeah.
Those are heartbreaking moments. Let me tell you something.
So
And when you have to get your daughter to play along,
Yeah, my son asked me today, Dad, how come sometimes like this was yesterday. I said, where's it today? Where does Santa get his money from? I said, but he lives in the North Pole. He has the workshop. He's making all the toys. Well, Dad, I've noticed sometimes it's like Marshall tags. I'm like, damn it. I was like, I don't know, dude. I don't know that.
You know
I
what?
said, show me next time.
you know what I miss most about those moments
I'm deep in them.
is filling out the stickers you would put on the presents.
Mm.
Because I would write them all fancy Santa.
Backwards.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I miss that dearly.
Yeah.
And then this past Christmas Eve, my cousin came up to me. She was like, hey, would you do that for my kids' presents?
Mm.
I'm like, I was overjoyed.
You're like, please.
I'm like, how many presents you got? Like, give me the pens. Like, I gotta practice again. A little rough, but like, yeah, just reliving that. I'm like, this is what it's about. And to tell my kids, like, hey, yeah, And my daughter was the type like, hey, I'm not gonna. I knew for years,
right.
and didn't say anything. Just rolled with it. And like, we're like, please don't ruin it for your brother.
Yeah.
Like, can we just get a couple more years out of it?
So Dave, joking about that, right? Like, yeah, but they're not going to lie. And then also, parents, you've been lying for years.
That's true.
Yeah.
When we talk about this stuff, yeah, we've all lied.
But it's great.
Right.
Those are good stories.
Awesome.
Even like going as far as using like the Santa apps, where like you go to their room and you take a picture.
I have them on my phone.
And it pops Santa in their room, and he's like, oh,
Dude.
he's laughing. But like, two quick stories. So with my daughter, so when was it? I don't remember what game it was exactly. Yep,
Yeah, we
just
did
like
that.
that.
I think we did footprints too at one point.
Yeah.
We had a key because we didn't have a chimney, so we had to get a magic key so it could unlock the front door. We would hang it outside, and
Oh my god.
oh yeah,
So I don't remember what I was doing, but Michelle took Shay to varsity football game at the high school.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't cheering.
We probably lost.
We may have.
Yeah, probably.
But her boyfriend was there. God. So she comes home, and she's got the biggest shit-eating grin on her face.
Your daughter?
Yeah. I said, "What'd you do?" She goes, "I didn't do nothing."
Ask mom.
I said, "Okay, what did Matthew do?" I said, "I know the cook loopholes. I invented them." Giggles, like on nitrous, like just giggling. I said, I'll say this again. What did Matthew do? She goes, well, true story. Like, she goes, well, he was finally the boy, and he actually kissed me. And I said,
We're good.
I said, okay, listen, here's the deal.
She's 15?
14.
Oh, God.
I said, here's the deal. You do realize that you don't have to tell mom and dad everything.
Mm.
She goes, no, I think I do.
oh god,
I said, no, this is where you're wrong. There's certain
Less
things
is more.
that mom and dad don't need to know.
Yeah.
And Michelle even said the same thing to her. And she goes, yeah, but I tell you guys everything. I'm not necessarily sure.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to know now. And mine's 18.
Right,
Like, I'm not stupid,
right.
Yeah.
So,
but the respect is there. Just make good decisions.
right.
I hope I've taught you enough and, put you on the right path to make those decisions in the moment. And she's got a good head.
she does.
She's got a
So
really good head.
Joe's daughter and my daughter are 4 years apart, but they're like sisters. Like, you look at them, they're like sisters. They don't really interact with each other a whole bunch because of the age gap. But when they are together, they're the same person.
The same.
Like literally the same person. Like
It's
same
scary.
attitude, same crappy looks.
Same attitude. I love it.
Oh, it's identical.
Yeah, it's like, hey, where's your sister Gianna? Will you go get your sister Shay, please?
My daughter's a lot like me, and it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like, we are a take no shit. Tell you
No
like
nonsense.
Tell you like it is. If you don't like it, hey,
Move on.
yeah, have a good day. You know, we're not going to be disrespectful about it, but it's just probably not what you wanted to hear, but it's probably the truth,
Mm.
you know, and I see a lot of that in her,
Yeah, Shay's the same way.
you know. I don't mind it, but don't let it hold you back either, especially, you know, now.
Like with you, if you've seen her out at the store and you were like, hey, Shay, I'm Jay, and she'd be like, oh, okay, hi, nice to meet you. She gets to know you. Run for your money.
Oh,
Guarantee.
She's a pisser.
Guarantee you.
Well, what about Gianna when she, at the cheer, when you tapped her on the shoulder?
Oh, so a few months ago, Shay was competing, and I seen his wife and his daughter. She wasn't competing, but she wanted to go and watch. Like, she's still that involved.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, oh, Gianna and Julie are standing over there. So I go over, and I stiff shoulder his daughter, like, just gnarly. Damn near drops her Starbucks. She looked at me like she was going to claw my eyes out, rip my throat open, and just spit in the wound. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I was just messing around. And then she realized who it was, and she was like, oh, Cook, it's you. Should have known.
I need $7 for a new drink.
Right.
Oh, yeah, she would have made you pay, too.
Oh, I know she would.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I like that because the people that she's really close with are like, they're there. But anybody else, it's like, pfft, I got my own problems,
Yeah, pretty much.
you know?
Pretty much.
I want to touch one thing real quick. When you, with the scores and everything's 0.
Yeah.
So when you brought that up, I coached T-ball, obviously, up through, you know, the Pocket Park.
Mhm.
Then we went to Colony, but me and Lou coached together for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And we did the same thing because the kids were so focused on the score, and the score wasn't the important part. So we would always tell them, they'd be like, hey, coach, what's the score? I'm like, 0-0. It could be, you know, the 6th inning. We could be down by 20 or up by 20. It's still 0-0.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how come you don't tell us what score it is? Because you're not focusing on the right part of the game. The score is the score. You're going to have more losses than you are wins. It's just how it goes. But if you're focused on doing the things that we've taught you, or at least trying to do the things that we're trying to teach you, you're going to enjoy the game so much more. Because at the end of the day, when you walk off, it's not about the score. You're more excited because you hit that line drive or you stole that base or, you know, like, hey, I remember the sign you gave me, you know?
Yeah, so that 0-0 or whatever, no score keeping is something that came across U.S. soccer. It's mandated. So that rules in Wyoming, it's in California, it's in South Dakota, it's here in New York, it's across the United States.
Love that.
Now, the
Especially-
negative is, but everybody gets a participation medal.
I hate that.
See, we don't.
Oh my God.
I hate that.
I have, so at Afrom Sports, I have to buy them. Okay. I have them custom made, you know, and I'm handing them out. The kids are happy, right?
Right.
Positive is you're building that memory. You remember this medal? I got this at the one time with, and when you were there, like I just had a tournament last weekend at the facility. It snowed on Sunday. I'm out there, 7:10 in the morning. Now they said there's gonna be a chance of snow. They didn't say anything about an inch or two of snow. I'm shoveling the fields because I have teams from Ottawa, Boston, Binghamton, Syracuse, Rochester. They're here. They're not leaving.
Right.
I booked hotels, sold out a bunch of hotels on Wolf Road and Route 7, and I'm out there right there for the kids, you know. So those memories are what we're creating, right? And as a director and manager at Aframs is, how can I make this 8-year-old, when he's 30, still want to come back and then say, "You remember that one time? I think I still have the medal somewhere. It snowed at the tournament. It was crazy. It was like Easter. It was snowing." So, it's our job as dads and role models to almost paint that perfect canvas for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody's picture is different. But what can you do to open that eye, to create that memory for they go, yeah, this is it. Now, let's be honest, in the sport world, how many of those athletes are going to be professionals?
I wouldn't even know what the
Exactly. It's such a small number. That was.
You want to know the number? The last I knew it was 3%.
In what sport?
It was
The biggest sport to be recruited in right now.
either
Water
baseball.
polo.
Really? Wow.
So what do you? How many trophies between Joe's daughter and my daughter do you think they actually have?
I'll use a line from the Three Amigos. A plethora.
None.
0.
What have you done with them? Or they don't give them out.
We don't
They
get
don't.
them.
The
gym.
girls don't get trophies.
So our gym keeps the trophies.
So
Right.
so our club, my group just won. We get a club trophy. It goes to the club.
Right.
Mhm.
That's
What
exactly
I do
they-
is with that trophy or that cup, every kid brings it home. The next practice, you bring it. Joe, you take it. After
Yep.
that practice, you get to take it. So you get to go home. You can have ice cream out of it. You can have cookie crisp out of it. Whatever you want. Like you
Right.
get that memory.
Now in high school, they don't give anything out. No medals, no nothing, right?
No, they get plaques.
So like
Yeah.
All Stars, the competition gives out like one of the comps is cheer sport. It's huge. It's just a medal that says cheer sport.
Mm.
Like, hey, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as anything else, no banners, no trophies, none of that.
Yeah, it's very, very seldom that.
The big
even,
thing, the girls,
even the medals.
the pins are the big thing, like the hit 0.
Right.
Like that is what they're shooting for.
we went.
They get a pin that's as big as a $50. It says we hit 0 or hit 0. Like that's what they're shooting for.
Now, even like at my work at Aframs in the adult leagues, or even in the youth when we do tournaments, you have a choice between the medal or a tournament T-shirt
So
or a hoodie, and that is like, man, that is like platinum. Like you've hit it if you get an Aframs hoodie.
that's exactly how Nationals and Worlds is.
Yeah, she's gotten a couple jackets.
Right. So it's
Yeah, it's crazy.
and then
I love it.
there's comps that we've been to in Myrtle Beach
Mm.
where they get rings, depending on how they place.
So, rings.
Yes.
Besides soccer, I also run all the softball tournaments. Crazy. We sell out 16 softball tournaments in 22 minutes.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. The phone, I can't get to the phone quick enough.
That's insane.
Now, that's all up at our Queensbury location. Now, the winners, they win, they get to sign the banner. And the banner's hung up in the facility.
Okay.
That's cool.
So for the 24-25, we just ended it end of March. It's hung up. All the teams get to sign it. Every player gets to sign it.
That's awesome.
Now, they
like
also
that.
get a ring, an oversized ring that has a softball on it. It says ADK from it's up in Queensbury. So we call it the ADK Dome, and they get a ring, and they love it. And then I also do an oak bat, 18 inches, 20 inches, and it says Afram Sports ADK Home Run Champion. One girl gets it per weekend. It's like
So-
that trophy. It's like that's the one thing we give out.
So at competitions,
Rings.
yeah, but it's very few and far between.
Yeah.
That one, they're actually at a comp where there is rings. Like Atlantic City is a ring, a jacket, backpack, and what's the other bid? Or is that it? No, that's it. Once they're done with Atlantic City, it's pretty much it.
Is that it?
Yeah, there was a couple of
Wasn't
comps that we
Myrtle
went
Beach
to.
after that a couple times.
There was a couple of comps that we had gone to that, first place, every girl got a bow,
About like what do you mean?
like a cheer bow.
I don't.
They put bows in their hair.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I have boys. Sorry, I'm looking at you guys like you're.
I'll have to run in
I'm
and
like,
get one.
come on, guy, you don't know what a bow is?
Damn.
Yeah, and even that's very few and far between.
A bow.
But like high school, everything is pretty much plaque based.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
all-
And then the girls really don't get recognized until the end of the year. So like our banquets where they can, I don't know, like most improved or even, suburban council, all team or whatever it is. I don't even remember.
yeah.
They do like in more sports. It's like a first team, second team.
Yeah.
Yeah, first.
Yep.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, as far as that, and then at comps is hit 0 and first or second place.
Yeah. There's no participation stuff.
No, very, very,
Some of the
very, very little.
Some of the bigger comps will go like 5th place banner, 4th place banner, which.
But that also
Again.
depends on
But out
how
of
many
like,
they're up against.
I mean, if there's, I think the one year in Disney we were up against like 20 teams, and I think we were, I don't know, like 15th. You don't get nothing for that.
No, you get a high five.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
Swipe your card here.
Mickey
Yeah,
appreciates
we're down
all the
there.
money you spent.
I love it down there, but for those instances, you're there for the whole day, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and you booked that a whole week.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
But
that's
I
our
mean,
choice.
Like, what's great for us, like when we go to Disney at it for a comp, we just had like a monster amount of parents together, and we had plans all week. So if the girls didn't have to be at practice, we were gone. Like we were off and running. When the girls had practice, like we finally got time to sit at the pool, maybe enjoy a drink, and then practice is 2 hours. So by the time they get back, like, man, I feel like we
Practice
just
is
sat
that
down.
long?
For what, cheer?
Yeah.
My daughter's was from 6:30 to 9 tonight.
Yeah.
And it's just constant, just going over the same thing.
Routine,
over and
routine,
over and
routine,
over and
routine.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you talk about like muscle memory,
Mm-hmm.
like that's
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You're throwing her in the air.
wild.
Yeah.
How are the soccer parents? I'm curious. Are they as wild as you see, like the videos of the baseball parents or the football parents? 'Cause
Yeah, yes.
That's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
part
so
of the reason why I pretty much stopped. Was that
So
and some of
it
the
depends
politics.
on how you manage them. So I'll give you the coaching aspect of it, not the director. The coaching aspect of it, I meet with my parents every Monday. I do a Monday recap. This is what the weekend went. Here were the results. Here's what we're working on the next week, and here's what's upcoming. So I set the expectations for them. We're going to be going back to this because I saw this. We didn't do it, so we're going to go back to this practice. If you see it again, it's because of this. And now in the soccer world, there's a big zero tolerance. So, Joe, if you went crazy on the referee, you're paying $1,000 fine.
Damn,
You are suspended. You cannot come watch your child play.
that's heartbreaking.
So, how are the parents? It just has to happen once. Someone in the club, and they go, oh,
Oh, I'm not doing that.
I'm going to pay you $1,000. And that's to the league. That's not to the club. It goes right to the league. And you are suspended. You cannot watch your child for 1 year.
For
A whole year.
So not even till the fine is paid.
Wow,
Zero tolerance. And that goes for coaches as well.
that's insane.
So
Now, most of these games today, there's a camera that watches the whole game.
right.
Now, most of the clubs have it just to protect themselves. So if something is to happen,
Yeah,
insurance-wise or
it's
a
smart.
parent,
Yeah,
but you also have this. So yeah, it's just got pushed out. It's 5 days now been working. So that's how that works. So once you get it, and then you have mud in your face, and the club's like, now you're setting a bad name for this club, and the club's like, we don't want you. And then when you try to go somewhere else, to, let's say another cheer competition or another cheer club, they're like, we heard about you.
Oh, I know a few people whose names have been thrown around more than once.
So, but the pain, you know, with once you get into the clubs, it's different. Then you get into the premier side of soccer. You know, the whatever you guys are, the league groups or the all stars, whatever. Those parents already know where their child is. You know, those are my 1%ers. You know, your junkies. They don't play AU basketball. They don't do little league. They don't do lacrosse. They do soccer. You know, my kids. That's what they do soccer. You guys ask them. Oh, we play horse in the driveway. Or I like to go fishing. They don't. I mean, they can throw a football, they can hit a bat or hit a ball and stuff like that. They're fine with all that, but they have all their eggs in one basket. But we do push other sports, but
their sport is soccer.
Yeah, but these parents of these children, they know if I'm the 18th player, I'm the number 1 player. They know because they've been around it enough to go. But again, they know they have to go to Boston for a league game, or they got to go down to Long Island for a league game. So they drive 3 hours, play for an hour and a half, drive back 3 hours. So those are your elite groups, and those parents already know. Like, so it's zero time. It's not. It happens once and you're done.
It's so much different in the baseball world.
Imagine if in the baseball world you went off on the umpire,
like
first base, whatever, and they're like, "You're out of here. Here's $1,000, and you're suspended for a year."
Right.
It would stop real quick.
Oh, real quick.
Real quick.
Like we've been. As like a team, we've been warned because some parents, I just sit there, I enjoy watching my son play, have a great time, do your thing, dude. Like I'm gonna cheer you on. I'm not gonna, bad call, whatever. Like that guy's doing the best he can. You know, like the guys here, I mean, they do get paid, but it's not
to deal with everybody's BS.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he's doing the best he can by himself. Like most of the time, I'm like, it is what it is. Yeah, bad calls are bad calls, but some parents just.
Relentless.
They can't help themselves. Yeah. Like I'm like, did you just come here to do this? Like you haven't even paid attention to what your kid's done. All you've done is just harp on that umpire behind home plate because he can't call a ball or
and he doesn't even have a kid playing.
Yeah, yeah. Like this guy's.
I've been that cheer dad though.
I've never been that cheer dad.
Oh,
me neither.
100% have been that cheer dad.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not, and only because I can't control where she's going to be or what position she's going to do, and her coaches they tell them that straight up. Listen, if you're not cutting it, you're out. You want to get back in, earn it.
Well, I guess what I mean,
I
said I've been that cheer dad, I know for a fact that you've been to a competition to where they have 100% hit zero.
Yep.
Don't get recognized for it.
Zero good.
Zero is perfect routine.
Hitting zero means
no deduction.
No deductions.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Perfect.
It doesn't mean that you're going to score high, though.
Correct. But then when
all those other categories come into play,
when another team that they're going up against drops twice,
and still, so I've learned a little bit over the last couple of years.
and I realize it's scoring and it's difficulty, but when
It comes down to difficulty, the technique. Like a lot of those teams, like a lot of our teams, their difficulties are maxed. So there's a lot more.
that is true, but when their difficulty is less than ours,
Correct.
that's where I go bananas.
Correct. It happens all the time.
So yes, I've been that cheer dad before.
It happens all the time.
I've also been that cheer dad, like I've had an outfit for years.
I bet you have.
Yeah, Dave.
He'll tell you,
Dave gets stepped out.
I am not in any way, shape, or form opposed to embarrassing myself.
Tutu?
No, never had that. But
He would.
I've always
Now
had
put it past you.
our school colors.
Yeah.
So I'll have one long maroon sock, one long garnet sock,
Yeah.
or
Yellow.
gold rather.
Yeah, Dave looks like he's from the West Coast.
I figured out how to, what I needed to customize my own sneakers. So I painted my own school color sneakers.
I love you.
Fingernails.
Yeah, no, I've never done that. I have had face paint. And I have been the loud dad.
Oh, I'm definitely the loud dad. When they hit that mat, I am screaming.
Right.
Screaming. And this is pretty much pretty much it for her
Yeah.
this year. Like, it's
And you're
probably
devastated.
crushed. And you want to know why I'm crushed?
She's not going to do it in college?
No, she's going to Siena now, and they have a cheer team.
They have a cheer team,
it's
yeah.
not competitive.
Cheer club? What-
It's like a club.
Yeah.
Siena
Yep.
doesn't have
Yep.
like they have teams, but most of it's clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But so there's like this. So every time my daughter comes on the mat, we find each other and we flex.
Mm.
So in 2 weeks, this will be like
The last flex.
My last flex.
Yeah.
And it crushes me. It does. This is all I've done for the last 9 years. 9 years? Yeah, 9 years.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of those cry moments.
So on her last Pop Warner event, I cried like a baby. That was in Myrtle Beach, and I'll probably do it again in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like part of my life is like coming to an end.
Yeah, so that's like where soccer is a little different. Like you can play in an over 30 league, an over 40 league, an over 50 league. We have leagues at the facility are masters. They're over 60.
God bless them.
It's no contact. It's running around, trying to get some cardio,
Staying busy.
get a beer afterwards. You know what I mean? So that's like where, the club side ends or high school ends or the college ends, but then they, we have a couple local semi-pro teams where the kids can still have ability to keep playing.
She'll probably go on to coaching.
Yeah.
Which I really hope she does because I still want to be involved in some fashion.
Yeah.
Like still take those trips, but not be as like
Not flexing.
hammered down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
I literally
wild.
just came across the picture
Oh boy.
from our snowmobiling trip.
So that that had to be
It was either
2000.
Is it black and white?
Either no, 2000.
It was the Polaroid. He was flexing it like this.
Anywhere between 2003 and 2005, I would say.
We went to Zippy's.
Yeah. I actually had hair, didn't have a beard
You had hair on your head, not on your.
on my
Jawline.
face. Right.
Do I have to show them the other pictures? Oh, David. Oh, David.
Me and your brother with Tony Stewart.
It was Tony Stewart. Yeah. Wow. Look at my brother.
Yeah.
I got that one.
Oh God. Yeah, but he knew me then, so that's not.
I did not. And the fact that this has been sitting in my house
I think Dave has highlights in that
for
photo and his
20
hair.
years.
100% have.
He was like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. What is that?
That's Dave's high school photo.
one of my high school photos.
Yeah.
You look like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like I said, I had hair.
How thick were those glasses?
Probably Hubble.
Thick enough.
Dave, that is not you.
No, I mean the hair's all wrong. The hair is totally wrong.
Joe, I could have you send me that photo. I'm going to frame that.
You look like a character from Office Space.
Oh, wow.
That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah. I was in awe for a while when Julie pulled out the yearbooks. I'm like, that's not him.
So before we started, we were talking about kids with cell phones. I will be 1,000% honest, and Shay had one at 10. Reason being, all of a sudden, parents couldn't be at practices. So it was just one of those stars align kind of moments.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're offering a free phone, and service was like stupid cheap. Then all of a sudden, we couldn't be at practices. So we're like, I'm not really sure if I want to rely on the coach to make the right call. We're going to get her a phone.
1-800-COLLECT, Dave.
Yeah, right.
You got to teach
So-
them the tricks. Is that even around?
I don't even know.
God.
I just hit send. But when it come time to trade it in, phone's now 3 years old. It was flawless. Wasn't a mark on it. Because of her responsibility. Like, mom and dad did this basically told me, not basically, we flat out told her, you smash it, you lose it, shutting it off, it's done. Go to the Apple store, trade it in. They're like, I want to give you more for this phone than we actually should because of how well she actually took care of it. So yeah, that was the reason that, she got hers. It was just like for being able to keep track of her, and then had something happened at practice, it was a lot easier.
Jenna was
But
12.
you're also...
I'm the coach.
You're the coach.
Yeah.
And you're the dad, so I get it.
Yeah, but also, like, when we go, again, we're outdoor family, right? Like I said, we go snowmobiling, we're Sagandaga. Even with Sagandaga, I got them real walkie-talkies, off-grid walkie-talkies.
Okay.
Yep.
And they know if they don't respond, I'm going to get them. And you just have to get them once.
That's it.
Once. And they're
Well,
done.
because they'd probably be scared shitless, number one.
Well, no, it's not that. They just know when I'm serious, I'm serious. Sometimes like, well, can we do this to get it back? What can we do different? And they know what they have to do, but it's hard, right? It's easy to cave. Yesterday, Easter, you can only have 2 people. Okay, you can have 4. Okay, you can hold no more than 7. Okay, hold on. Okay, nothing with the red dye. Okay, only the chocolate with the peanut butter. Okay, hold on. So it's always easier to sit here and talk the talk, but is it different to walk the walk? Like, I always want to be, I still want to be the cool dad, but I also want to be the respected dad.
Right. But at the same time, like, it's Easter.
Yeah, right? When can you put down your guard? I think, like, that's a good time. Halloween's a good time.
Wait until they refer to you as bro.
Oh, we get that. I get that now.
My head snapped around so fast. And then this was, I think James was like 12. This wasn't that long ago. I go, don't you ever call me bro.
No.
Ever. And at that moment, like, you could see not
Fear.
so much the fear, but just be like, oh, all right, I messed up. Like, I'm not your bro. I'm your dad.
I'm your dad.
So, like, I profess at the brain rot talk. And I do it, like, just to get under my daughter's skin. And I bro back and forth with her all the time. Because it gets under her skin.
I've had to learn all the new lingo.
I don't know any of it.
I had to look it up. I'm like, what's Skibbity Riz, Ohio? I had to look this all up.
What's that?
Bro,
It's
mid-cap.
It's not good. It's not good, bro.
I had to
I
look
am
up.
so
listen,
out of- 'cause I don't have time for it.
I don't have a choice because I'm coaching these kids. I got to know what in the love of God are you saying to me?
I'd be lost.
That's
literally, they're in bed and I'm like, okay, Skibbity Riz, Ohio, mid no cap. Giat. Okay, that's what Giat is. Okay, Giat is butt.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh, I had to learn. I don't know if they're talking bad or is it derogatory? Is it racist? I don't know what they're saying. I do now. So when I talk their lingo back to them, they're blown away.
That's funny. I'm not going to lie.
That is funny.
I talk fluent 3rd to 5th grader.
Right.
And they're like, Dad, come on, Dad. You're embarrassing me.
Yeah, now you're an embarrassment.
Yeah, you're embarrassing me, Dad. I'm like, yo, no mid cap. Dad. So.
You got to keep up with the times, though.
Yeah, again, you have to be cool, right?
Well, yeah.
And his friends think I'm cool. Like, yo, your dad, how's your dad know all this? Your dad's so cool. Oh, my dad. Oh, it's so embarrassing.
I hope my kids' friends, feel the same way. I think they do. Because I am 100% with them all the time.
I'm out with the neighborhood kids playing horse all the time.
Like, just everything. I am completely upfront with my kids. They know my entire backstory. Like, this is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't change it. What's done is done. But I'm trying to teach you not to do those things.
Yeah. Oh, my neighborhood kids. I'm the Afram guy. I'm the soccer guy.
Well, like with Gianna and her friends, like, we have pretty much, like,
We've ruined some of the kids.
hey, like,
but in a
brick,
good way.
like yellow brick roaded them. Like we gave them the path. Like and I almost feel terrible, but not really.
We have, but I think we've done it in a way where they actually learned from it.
They may have.
You'll find out as you get older.
Right.
Exactly. Like,
Remember the time I was at your house and your dad? That's how you're going to know.
Like we've all given your daughter and her friends a lot of leeway.
yes,
But it's earned.
correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even like with her starting college this year, she's like, "Oh, I found friends. You know, I know some girls. We're gonna go to a party." Now, me as dad, have at it.
I've been to those parties.
Go learn.
Yeah.
Go learn.
In a safe environment.
There is nothing that I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
that you're gonna believe me. So go see it. And my wife, on the other hand, is like, "Who are you gonna be with? Are you gonna drink?" I'm like, "Of course she's gonna drink." Like it's not even like a question to ask. Like if you go to a party, you gonna drink? Absolutely, absolutely.
How much are you going to drink?
Correct. I said just know your limits. Now,
Not Ramondo Fest.
No.
But
now,
don't do that.
me being
Don't
the
walk
way
back
I
to your
am,
wife's place. No.
I want to know how my kids are going to react to alcohol. So for me, it was my decision over the last couple. I think it was New Year's, right? You want to drink? You're going to do it here with me, supervised. And I'm going to limit what you're going to have based on how you're reacting. They had a couple drinks. They were a little giggly, nothing more.
You're done.
I'm like, yeah, that's it. You're done. You start getting giggly. You start losing your control. That's your limit. So now when she goes, she paces herself. And she knows just how, when it's coming, like I've had enough. And she went to 3 parties this year. The third party, my wife had to pick them up, drove her friend home. She puked all over the side of her car.
Her friend?
Yes.
Awesome.
Blackout drunk. My daughter had to carry her into her house, put her in her bed. And that was the last party she went to. She's like, it's not worth it. It's not fun.
Wait till you hit your 40s.
50s.
Or that.
I go, it's not fun right now, but when you're older and more mature, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, you sit
But
by
not to get like,
blackout. Yeah. Like sit by the campfire and have a few, right?
Learned my lesson plenty of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The
even like
recovery sucks.
when we're having like a cards night here,
Nobody's
we're not getting stupid.
nobody's getting blistered. I have a couple times, but it's not worth it.
once or thrice, but
It's not worth it anymore.
no,
The recovery is 2 days.
It's awful.
horrible.
It's awful.
I still have young ones, so I got to wake up and be active, fun dad.
So a couple of years ago,
Can barely walk.
I had to work late. We had a camp up in Lake George, and it was Halloween weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had costumes. I get up there late. Everybody's already been drinking.
You're trying to catch up.
You are 100%.
I am
right.
shifting gears.
I went full mode and killed a bottle of Tito's, $7.50, in an hour. I was still in my work clothes. Mo was like, hey, let's get you back to the trailer. Change. I sat on the couch and I didn't wake up for like 12 hours, Dave.
So the last time I did that, Mike and Monique can probably attest to this. So we went to Hampton Beach.
Yep. Do you guys drink out of the
Bucket.
sand buckets?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we bought sand buckets, like the buckets that are like this tall that come with like the little shovel.
Yeah. Building a castle.
Right.
Kinda.
That we made cocktails in.
Okay.
I drank 3
Oh, God, Dave.
in a couple hours. But I mean,
Yee.
I'm not talking like a lot of mixers either. Like,
You're cross-eyed.
dude. So I
Should not operate heavy machinery.
I passed out standing up in the shower of my hotel room. And then,
That is spectacular balance.
like,
How do you walk into the room and see that? Oh, it's my friend
Just
Dave.
a naked man.
There's Dave standing
I
up.
like, I let it go a couple of times in the shower, and I had to do the waffle stomp of shame.
Did you?
Yeah, horrible. I'm like, you know what? It's 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm going to bed. going to bed. I'm done.
Vacation's over.
Right. You guys have a great afternoon. Cranked the AC up. Went to bed. Woke up at like 6:30, like ready to go.
The same day, so 4-hour power nap.
Yeah.
More buckets.
4-hour power nap. I'm ready.
Oh, man.
Like
Damn, dude.
5 o'clock.
I'm jealous.
5 o'clock, she comes in.
Oh, that
Hey,
must have been interesting.
I brought dinner. It's up here. What is it? Chicken parm. I said, I just puked my guts out from whatever concoction you just made in multiple sand buckets, and you bring me acid chicken parm. I went back to sleep.
I was going to say you thought you ate it.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you
I
gotta
went
reestablish
right back
your
to
gut.
sleep.
You
And
needed a
then-
greasy burger.
I did. But then, like, I woke up 6:30, and I'm like, where the hell is everybody? So here we are.
I got to catch up.
Here we are, Hampton Beach. I'm like, I need something. So where did I go? Right to the fried dough place. What the hell was the name of that?
God.
I can't remember the name of it now. But it's all over Hampton Beach.
Mm.
Like 3 of them. Fried dough, peanut butter jelly. Hammered that. I am super happy. Like, ready. Everyone's like, man, you know, we've been drinking all day. You're the one who's been sleeping. I'm like, 7 o'clock by the time I found you. What are we doing? Going back to the hotel. What do you mean we're going back to the hotel? I just left. Like,
I was already there.
yeah, like, you guys were down here. I was there. You left me alone. Like, it's time. Nah, I think we're gonna sit here and be on the concrete, maybe put our feet in the sand a little bit, and then we're gonna go back to the hotel. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I'm getting a bucket.
Right. Like, do we have any more liquor left? No, we drank the 19 gallons of whatever the hell it was.
You
this
ruined the day.
afternoon.
You ruined the day, Dave. You
No,
killed
I was
everybody's
a
plan.
champ.
I will never drink like I did that day, ever. And the only reason being is
Where
that
you were drinking out of the ice bucket?
no, the whole camp thing
Oh.
is that my wife and my son stayed up practically all night
Babysitting.
to make sure that I was breathing.
Yeah.
You know that because I sat on the couch and I didn't move for like 12 hours
Incoherent.
completely. Blackout drunk, gone. And my son had a game the next morning.
Son, I'm not going.
Speaking of blackout drunk,
They
this
had
guy.
to leave and left me because I was still intoxicated. I said, I'll have to meet you at the game. And I got to the game,
I should have drove here.
and I sat in a chair and slept the entire game. So not only did I ruin their night, but I ruined the whole game, too. Like,
So you've never really
not-
been like a snowmobiler, right?
it's not, no.
All right. So as long as I've known Jason, always had at least one, maybe 3 snowmobiles.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Always.
So like I said, we go on this trip. We get up to where we're going, and there's like nothing on the ground.
Old Forge.
Like couple inches,
Maybe.
tops. And it's beat up. We're like, screw it.
We're here.
Let's go.
We got a room.
We unload the sleds. There's 4 of us. I should talk about Tommy's bachelor party. That was perfect. So we go. We have like a couple drinks. Probably more than a couple. I had to ride back to the hotel with my visor up, one hand on the throttle, covering one eye so I could see straight. Driving through like the town roads.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up the next morning, there's like 6 inches of snow that has fallen since we finally get back to the hotel. I'm like, perfect conditions, and I feel like a bag of shit.
Perfect. Let's ride.
So he stayed with our friend Tommy in one room, and me and his brother stayed in another room. So we go down, and we're like, you know what? Those guys are still getting ready. Let's just fire up all 4 sleds. We'll get them ready to go. And it's cold. Wicked cold. It's like probably less than 10 degrees.
It was hard to start the sleds.
Right. Like, you really had to put like every bit of you to pull the recoil.
Mm.
So we get all the sleds fired up. We're letting them warm up. But before we get down to them, there's a monster staircase to go down
I
the
mean-
sleds. Like,
30 steps.
right. It was all of 2 full flights.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
we make
yeah.
we make it out the front door, and his brother goes, "Fucking deer down there."
2 of them. Right by the... I have the photo.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So we go down to the landing, and he's like, "Dude, deer's still there." I'm like, "You know what, dude? I am too hungover for this, and we have a long day of riding. Way too hungover for this. What are we gonna do?" Roll the dice, but just walk past them. But up there, they're so used to people,
Yeah,
and
there's- yeah.
sleds and the noise.
They run the neighborhood.
They have none F's to give whatsoever. So they're so comfortable up there that you walk up to your sled, brush the seat off,
Just standing there.
brush your seat off, put your helmet down, and you turn around and they're like, "Hi, I'm here. Feed me."
Feed me.
That's wild.
Do you have any ring dings?
Right. Yeah, I was feeding them like right out of my hand. Like, it was just ridiculous.
That's nuts.
So this benefit ride that we're on is
Good times, by the way.
is held by a NASCAR crew chief. Well,
Greg Zippadelli.
Greg Zippadelli, who was Tony Stewart's crew chief. So Tony Stewart's there. That's where the picture came from.
All
Right.
a
And
bunch
there's
of the
just-
big NASCAR people are there. It's 2 weeks before Daytona. They're in all Old Fort New York snowmobiling.
Right. So I want to say the year that we went, Arctic Cat was a big sponsor. And I love Arctic Cats. I just love the way they look. I love the way they ride. And, you know, Jason's Yamaha guy, and he always has been. So we're riding like all day, doing like a poker run, and every group has a NASCAR celebrity with them. So we roll up. Tony Stewart's personal assistant, I believe it was. It could have been someone else. I just don't remember.
I think it was his bodyguard.
I'm really not sure.
That's when he rolled the sled.
Yeah, so they bring 3 tractor trailers.
Like haulers. Well,
Like-
with like levels.
Like, do you ever see like a NASCAR trailer? Yeah. It's that.
them.
There's
3 of them.
3 of them.
Brand new snowmobiles. And every single one.
2 of them are nothing but sleds. The other one is nothing but apparel to outfit the celebrities. So, I mean, you're talking F7s, F6s, Firecats, STs, like anything Arctic Cat had that was 600 and up was on those trailers. So one of the drivers gets his sled, gets his whole outfit. They fire the sled up. All right, this one's a brake, this one's a throttle. Mashes it. Right down on the lake, gone. 15 minutes later, he's getting towed back. He never let go for...
And then
15
decided to hit the brake. Snowmobile car.
Another guy. Nails it.
Same thing.
Right out on the lake. Blows the head off the top of the motor.
Good Lord.
Like, brand new sled, just full tilt, no slowing down.
No care in the world.
Right.
Oh, and the best is, we're on line to race. Tony Stewart has the latest and greatest from Arctic Cat.
Oh, of course.
Well, he got smoked.
Really?
Smoke got smoked.
And he goes back. He's like, I need something different. This isn't gonna work. And he's like, no, you have our fastest sled. Now, everybody that most of the group were in, we all had mods. Like, they're not, off of the shelf snowmobiles. He was like, why don't I have some? Because you guys just wrecked 2 snowmobiles in 10 minutes. That's why.
Yeah.
And then every part that they were like able to muster up, they then threw, "Oh, here, you can put this in the Chinese auction."
The raffle off, yeah.
Right.
They would sign it. Silent auction.
Yeah.
The old barn.
That's wild.
It was good times.
Oh, such a good time.
Such a good time.
Like I don't know, what was it, 3 days, 2 nights that we were out there.
Mhm.
Or 3
They were there
days,
for the whole week.
4 days, whatever. But like, yeah, absolute blast. I spent like way more money than I wanted to.
Mm-hmm. I have so much sheet metal left.
Do you?
I have enough to build 2 cars,
No kidding.
NASCARs. You name it.
Oh, his buddy Tom just.
There's one of the haulers.
That's ridiculous.
Did the next morning, like, we weren't even on the ride, an hour, and Tommy blew his arm apart.
Into the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
Didn't see it coming.
No,
Well, I mean,
not exactly doing 10 miles an hour.
no, I mean, it was maybe 3 or 4 miles an hour over the speed limit, but
Yeah, I know a lot of guys that are right up there.
Good times.
not so much the benefit ride, but if you get an opportunity to go away and go snowmobiling,
I'm not a fan of the cold, Dave.
You're not cold at
that's
all.
what, like, you're sweating.
And I don't trust myself.
Which is why I don't have a motorcycle.
That's true. But again, it's got a motor and it's got a track and 2 skis. So technically, it's a lot like your Can-Am.
Oh, the side-by-sides?
Yeah, no,
Oh, the
your
Spider?
your Polaris rather.
Oh, yeah. Well, it pretty much was a snowmobile.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you're good. You're solid.
Ain't got much room for toys, Dave.
Well, no, not now. 'Cause we kind of
Kinda
took up
over.
the storage area.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
What would you say your biggest difficulty is now?
Right now,
Yeah. I mean, you're juggling.
yeah, like my personal life, you know.
Well, not even that. Like I guess
Work?
what I'm getting at is so personal life, work, teaching the kids, having the kid. But like with you, you're doing that for the most part while you're working because you
Correct.
can.
Yeah.
So like your world as hectic as it may be, it's really not that awful because you're moving like 1 time a day.
Yeah, you know, and with that juggling act is they don't have to do it Monday to Friday.
Okay.
They just have to meet this many minutes a month.
Which is insane.
I can do it like nobody had school at Easter break. We went and did the DEC release.
Yeah.
That was 2 hours out of the 180 minutes. So there's different ways you can look at it. But the hardest thing is, you know, getting the kids to understand. Now, when they are home and then their buddies are coming off the bus.
Right.
So the hardest thing for me is having my kids still have the social aspect of friends, right?
Yep.
Their buddies. Oh.
So that was something that I did want to ask. Like, if these allergies are never going to go away, they might subside a little bit.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Do you foresee them going back for the social aspect?
I would, because at some point, you know, we're older, like Common Core math.
Right, like we're math.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you just did. So, but I can teach them whatever math I want.
Okay.
It's not mandated that I have to teach them that. I just have to teach a curriculum. It could be the Ohio State, California, Florida curriculum. It could be a private curriculum. I just have to teach them something, and then they have to be able to still pass a test.
Yep.
So which comes in that way, I think I mentioned in the beginning, the different learning aspects of what you can and can't do. Excuse me. So, you know, getting the kids to sit down and learn, and that knowing that there's a different path, and their friends in the neighborhood know they're homeschooling. We're not the only ones in the neighborhood.
Right.
It's more common than I thought it was, because we still have to report to somebody every 3 months
Oh, right.
to say what we've done.
Your auditor.
Yeah. And they're like, great, what can you provide? What do they need to still work on? So we still have to report to somebody.
Sure.
It's not, you know, Western shootout free for all. But getting the kids to sit down and understand, and then like, I take them up to go snowmobiling Wednesday and Thursday in Old Forge. But we're up there. I told you, I'll take them to an art museum that's up there. We've checked that off. You know, we're learning about cycle, how life and trees and plants and seeds and pollination, bees and honey. So that whole cycle, like that's a lot. But they're up there still doing work.
Right.
Like what is the weather? I give them the weather. What is it today at home? What's it cloudy? What's the wind? And they're learning all that stuff. Like when does water freeze? How much ice gets made an hour at this temperature? So it's like real life. Like, well, can we go on the ice? I don't know. Tell me how much ice grew last night. Kind of important to go on a lake.
Sure.
It's like, how do you start a fire? This is like Boy Scout stuff, right?
Yep.
My kids aren't in Boy Scouts, but can I teach them those skills? Yeah. Like not just like pour gasoline and put a match on it. Like how do I start it properly? How do I get kindling? How do I work a hatchet? What tree can I use?
That's all great stuff.
It's life skills. I mean, it still has a value to it. You know, hey, don't cut the log bigger than 12 inches. Where's the tape measure? Just use the hatchet. Okay, that's a good idea. Use that as your measuring stick. Okay. So they know, like, it's just small things. That it doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be A, B, C. You can skip around and jump around.
It's kind of funny because, you're saying, use the hatchet as your 12-inch mark or your point of reference.
Yeah.
So I remember your dad teaching me something like that using a chainsaw. So if you lay a saw down, like at the teeth, and then just tap the blade, like there's your buck mark.
That's it.
So between your dad and my dad, same thing with that. Like, yeah, just cut it here, like I showed you. Just lay it down, tap it a little bit, and that's where you make your cut.
But who else would have taught you that?
Right. Not in school.
Not in school. They don't teach you how to cast in school.
No.
How to survive off the grid. They don't even teach you how to balance a checkbook anymore in school.
Or sign your name.
Nothing.
Don't even
Cursive is
do
not
cursive.
Cursive isn't. Yeah.
How are you going to sign like a legal document now?
Box letters.
Initial.
Yeah. Which is, I think, what they're saying.
So, I mean, listen, everybody has their own life challenges and
Sure.
curveballs thrown at them. It's what bat do you grab to swing? Can you grab a little yellow wiffle ball or the big red one?
Yeah.
We're grabbing the big red one. I'm swinging for the fences. You know, I'm going to keep swinging until eventually I hit something. I'm not giving up until then.
Right.
If you give up, guess who's watching you?
And not because the big red bat's easier.
I just want to hit more.
Right.
I don't want to hit one. I want to hit two. I want to hit three. And I can fail because I have two little eyes watching me. I have two sets of eyes watching me.
Right.
And they know if I give up, they think, it's okay to give up. Dad give up.
Mm-hmm.
No, we keep going until we're done. Lead by example.
100%.
Like it.
Well, Jay, this has been very productive. It's been fun.
Been great.
A lot of great conversation.
I hope I rubbed off some deep conversation, some good quotes.
No, you did. You did 100%. And I hope you will accept the next invitation back.
Oh,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
There's I'll leave everybody with this. There's always some stuff that I watch, and I watch it on Instagram, and it's some guy just in and goes, "You're doing great. Keep it up. You're being the best dad you could be.
Yeah.
You're showing up every day. You're putting your due diligence. Continue to put your head down and grind." So listen to your dads that they're struggling. There's other dads that are there to pick you up and support you, and
You're not alone at all.
you're not alone at all, man.
No, definitely not. That's it, man. Just
That's it.
grind.
And every night you have the opportunity, give your kids a hug. Tell them you love them.
Yep.
I'm at the age now where my oldest doesn't want me to kiss him. And as I told my wife, she said, "Stop, leave him alone." I said, "Remember this. When our kids get married, our boys get married, they don't dance with their dad."
Right.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, man." I said, "They don't walk down. Dad doesn't walk them down. Dad just stands up at the top of the altar, and he shakes your hand. He dances with his mom, walks down with mom." Guys, keep your head up. Be positive. Be role models.
Always.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for your time, guys.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jay.
Good night.